When Swindon-based charity Inner Flame announced they were going to climb Everest, you could have been forgiven for assuming they were off to the Himalayas. In fact, they are doing their Everest challenge a little closer to home, here at Head for Heights in the Cotswold Water Park. For the next 24 hours, the organisers and their teenage volunteers will be climbing the equivalent height of Everest, and we are here to find out how and why, and maybe have a go ourselves.
We've got 10 young people taking on the massive challenge of climbing 1,000 times up a 29-foot pole, which is the height of Mount Everest, and they're doing exceptionally well so far. We've been going for, about 7 hours so far, and they're starting to tire, but they're doing incredibly well.
So Matt, easy as walking upstairs?
A little bit harder than that, a little bit harder. You actually have to think where you're going to be putting your feet and your hands on it.
All right.
It's pretty straightforward.
And what happens when I get to the top? Am I supposed to stand on the top or something like that?
You can do, if you're feeling brave.
I'm maybe not.
We're climbing for 24 hours for a charity called Inner Flame. That's 1,000 times roughly. We're trying to reach the height of Everest within 24 hours, but we're well above target, so looks like we're going to beat that definitely.
This, I have to say, is harder than it looks. I've been watching the teenagers nimbly climbing up and down this thing all day, all morning, and they make it look easy, but actually it's quite scary.
Most of them were participants on the first course for Inner Flame. We ran a 4-day residential, and at the end of it they said they wanted to take on a big challenge. So here we are a couple of months later, and this is what they decided to do as a group.
What our next kind of goal is to be able to do this year in, year out, as you know, there's a huge benefit for anyone that's come along and climb these poles. You know, to climb 29 foot up in the air with a harness, it might not seem a lot to a lot of people, but for others it's a real challenge.
I'm glad I have a safety harness on, because I would not feel comfortable doing this without a safety harness.
For a lot of people, this is probably the thing that they dread most. Or for some people, they think they will be okay. You get halfway up and realise maybe it's not as easy as they make it look, or it looks higher from the top than it did looking up at it, and it's just that moment of rationale goes out of the window, logic disappears, and all of a sudden it's just blind panic.
Previous to this challenge, I was actually scared of heights. I'm starting to get over that now. I did a bungee jump 2 years ago, and since then I've been a little bit shaky at the top of the pole, especially because the pole wobbles as well. But now that I've been up and down it a few times, it's almost second nature.
You sort of get into a routine after you've done it a few times, like you just same footholds and everything, so it's a mixed bag. It gets easier, but it gets harder. Obviously exhaustion comes into it.
Right, does that count? Am I at the top?
Yes.
It's certainly a good view up here, and worth the climb, I guess, but I think there's absolutely no way that I can stand on top of this pole. I'm simply not brave enough, and I don't think I've got the energy either.
24 hours is a real challenge for all of us. None of us are experienced climbers, so we've all had to put a lot of training in the way of like cardio and upper body strength to make sure our arms don't give way halfway, so it's a hell of a challenge, definitely.
This is the kind of event that we want to be doing on a regular basis now. As we take more and more people onto our residential course, we want to give all of them the chance to challenge themselves on an event like this, and for this to become business as usual for Inner Flame, and we hope that it'll just get bigger and better from here.